This is the Valley Today.
We start with breaking news this morning. A gunman is on the run after a young man has shot multiple times inside a Twin Cities movie theater. Police responded to the Marcus Oakdale Theater in Minneapolis last night for reports of shots fired. A 23-year-old man was taken to the hospital with multiple gunshot wounds. His condition is currently unknown. Police say the suspect ran from the scene. He is still on the loose this morning. We have local breaking news this morning. A 36-year-old man has died after losing control of his motorcycle on I-94 near the University Drive exit. It happened just after 9 last night. First responders arrived on scene and provided medical treatment, but the rider was pronounced dead. He was not wearing a helmet. His name will be released tomorrow evening. One man is hurt after crashing into a school bus in Otter Tail County. Minnesota State Patrol officials say the crash happened in Buse Township near Fergus Falls just before 4:30 yesterday afternoon. A car driven by a 43-year-old man from Elbow Lake was going on County Road 82 as the bus was turning onto that road. Both vehicles then slammed into each other. The driver of the car was taken to the hospital in Fergus Falls, but is expected to be okay. The school bus driver, a 63-year-old woman from North Carolina, was the only person on that bus and was not hurt. 6:01 now on this Wednesday morning. Let's get a check of your forecast out there with Lisa Green. Lisa, tracking some stuff on the radar this morning.
Yep, already starting off with rain and some thunder in parts of the valley, and that will continue to be a theme for us here today. We're watching clouds roll in, and then following that, here comes the rain. If you're over in Minnesota, it'll be a little bit before you see this, but those of us in the Devil's Lake Basin and surrounding areas, we've already started up with some showers this morning. So northern parts of this line extend from Canada back down into Towner County, into Cavalier County, and back over toward places like western parts of Walsh County. No lightning with that line currently. Now there is some lightning just to the west of Carrington and New Rockford, that town, or rather Eddy and Foster County areas, and then Maddock getting more rain here today. Some of these same places saw rain yesterday morning, so more is moving in ahead of the warm front that will be pushing in for today. Now the system overall will continue to bring us chances for rain and thunder. It's also going to create a surge of warm air as we head into the afternoon, and some of us are really going to get kind of steamy here for this afternoon. And with that, that will help to fuel more thunderstorms heading into tonight. But right now, it's mainly just clouds taking over and chances for rain increasing this morning. Most of us, if you're leaving the house right now, should have a pretty quiet commute, unless you're in places like Devil's Lake and out to the west, where we're at 59 degrees there. Fargo's at 56, Grand Forks 55. It's a cool 41 in Bemidji, a report of some fog going on there with those cooler temperatures. And in Jamestown, some showers happening now, reported at the airport at 58 degrees. So here's your planner for Fargo. Keep in mind, this is going to be different wherever you happen to be in the valley. In Fargo, we're going to be more on the cloudy side. We'll see a chance for some rain today, but we'll keep those temperatures kind of low until we get into the afternoon and we get that surge of heat pushing in. We'll reach the low 90s in Fargo and other places in the southern valley with a strong southeasterly wind, and that will fuel the chance for a shower, a thunder shower heading into later tonight. Here's a look at our risk. It's upgraded from yesterday. We're looking at a slight risk now. That's a level 2 out of 5. And all hazards possible, especially hail. We could see some large hail with storms that form. So when I come back, we'll get into the details of timing of this and when you can expect perhaps some strong storms affecting you where you are, coming up in just a couple of minutes.
As soon as we heat up, it seems we just cook up more storms around here.
That's for sure. We're looking at that being a really significant factor to whether we see storm development or not tonight.
All right, Lisa, thank you this morning. Due to safety concerns, the Red River Women's Clinic in Fargo is not revealing where they are in Moorhead and when they plan to go there. Fundraising efforts for the move has reached almost $1 million now.
Our plan is to provide abortions in North Dakota as long as we legally can. We should have moved to Minnesota a long time ago. There are a lot less burdens on providers, a lot less hoops patients have to jump.
According to a move by the state's Attorney General, North Dakota's abortion law will go into effect in less than 1 month. That's on July 28th. Once that law goes into effect, performing an abortion will be a Class C felony, carrying a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. That's for the person performing the abortion, not the person receiving the abortion. The state's ban does include exceptions for rape, incest, and saving the life of the mother. And if a fetus is determined to be dead inside the mother, a procedure would no longer be considered an abortion, so it would be legal to remove. But there are still many things that we don't know, including who determines whether a mother's life is at risk. Is a doctor's word good enough? And what if a child is not viable, meaning it's not developing properly and would die outside of the womb? Our reading of the law is that ending that type of pregnancy early would be illegal under a North Dakota law that prevents abortion because of genetic abnormalities. We have reached out to women's health care leaders who say that is how their legal counsel also interprets the law. But again, this law change is new, so we're still working to understand the full details. And while some women with unexpected pregnancies are expected to travel to Minnesota for an abortion, there are still resources in the Valley designed to help women who are pregnant and struggling. The Perry Center is designed to home women facing unexpected pregnancies while also providing education, mentorship, and necessary tools for motherhood. Executive Director Nate Douglas says he predicts they will be seeing more women in need of their services.
I believe that we will be even busier than we are. We're extremely busy now. And so I think that we sit back and we say, okay, we're ready. We're going to serve those people, meet them where they're at, let them know that there are healthy services in the community that can support them, that can help them.
Douglas says the Perry Center has treated women as young as age 12, adding that they're available to help in situations where parents even drop off their teenagers and then drive away. New this morning, earlier this week, CVS announced a limit of how many Plan B pills a person could buy online. Now the company says they are removing that purchase limit on emergency contraception. CVS implemented the limitation due to an increase in demand for the pills after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The company says sales have now stabilized. Purchase limits are expected to be removed from all locations and CVS.com within 24 hours. The Beltrami County Sheriff's Office wants your help finding a man considered vulnerable due to his current mental health and threats of suicide. 50-year-old Nathan Potchert of Bemidji was reported missing around 8 last night. He was last seen driving a maroon 2005 GMC Sierra 4-door pickup. It has Minnesota plates 387WHU. Take a look at your screen. If you see this guy, you should call 911. The West Fargo Police Department wants your help in finding a 17-year-old girl, Layla Ahn. Layla left her home on June 15th and has stopped all communication now with her family. Her picture is also up on your screen. If you know where she is, you are urged to call the West Fargo Police Department. You might hear construction crews in Moorhead earlier than usual today. Road crews started work at 4 this morning on the 20th Street and Main Avenue underpass near Moorhead High. The city says it needs to start work early to help with concrete delivery. The underpass will hopefully be open in mid-July. North Dakota lawmakers are investigating a $1.8 million cost overrun on a building leased by the Attorney General's office under the late Attorney General Wayne Stenjum. The current one, Drew Wrigley, says that he learned in March of the problem. Stenjum's office in July of 2021 paid off $1.4 million using its previous budget and is now making monthly payments to cover the rest by tapping salaries of vacant positions and holding back on certain budget items. Wrigley says about $300,000 remains to be paid off. Alta is now changing its policy after an incident involving a service animal at the Fargo store. According to a settlement, an employee told a customer that service animals are not allowed into the store without documentation. However, under the Americans with Disabilities Act, there is no requirement for people to show documentation, and the service animal does not even have to wear a harness or vest identifying it as one. Alta has now agreed to adopt a nationwide service animal policy and will have to pay $1,000 in damages to the Fargo complainant. Staying safe while going off, we look at what you can do to have a fun 4th of July while staying out of the ER. But first, we could see some showers moving through. Some of you might already notice them. Lisa Green will have a check of your forecast right after this break.